From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News This Weekend.
If you don't have a place to go, what are you supposed to do? You tell me, tell me. I don't have nothing.
Tonight on Channel 5 News This Weekend, we're hearing about the impact now Tropical Storm Harvey is having on residents. Channel 5's Matt Rist is live in a moment, but first we continue to track the latest on Tropical Storm Harvey. For that, we go to First Warn 5 meteorologist Andrew Chung. And Andrew, we've seen images of flooding like this in Houston, people walking in waist-deep water. Is there any end in sight for these people?
Taylor, no end in sight anytime soon for our friends in Houston. It is a very serious and tragic situation. Let's take a look at the maps. First of all, here are the numbers from the Hurricane Center. Harvey still a minimal tropical storm with maximum winds of 40 miles an hour, moving very slowly to the east-southeast at 3 miles an hour. There's the forecast track, taking it back toward the middle Texas coast by tomorrow and then making a sharp hook back toward southeast Texas, perhaps Houston again by Tuesday, and then maybe heading toward East Texas and Louisiana. All right, so nothing much here tonight in the valley. We're going to leave in a slight chance for some spotty showers, but the nightmare continues for our friends in the Houston area and southeast Texas. The heaviest rains are shown in the reds and oranges. Flash flood warnings continue for Harris County and the surrounding counties. You can see those rain bands moving toward the northeast. And there are the watches and warnings. Tropical storm warning continues just north of Corpus and east of San Antonio. Flash flood warnings for Harris County. I would strongly discourage thinking about traveling to the Houston area from the valley because of the flooding threat. We'll talk more about Harvey and our local forecast in just a bit. Back to you, Taylor.
An emotional plea for help after a woman's home is uninhabitable following Hurricane Harvey. Channel 5's Matt Rist joins us live now from Corpus Christi with that story. Matt.
Even if the rain lets up, one thing is clear. For the communities affected by Harvey, there's a long road ahead. An eerie silence in the town of Woodsboro. Power lines and debris block access to homes in this cotton gin town an hour northeast of Corpus.
It was bad. It was rocking and rolling all night long for a solid 10 hours.
Frank Linney and his dog Bear survey the damage to his neighborhood. The force of the hurricane ripped off his shingles.
All you heard was a lot of noise. It was just really windy.
Attention now turns to cleaning up. For Frank and Bear, it's hard to process.
Well, we're a good little community, you know. And we'll clean it up. It'll get done, but it's just going to take a long time.
Seeing the damage up close is one thing, but from a wider view, it's hard to take in.
And this is the back, like I said, the back porch. You can't see it right now, but inside my kitchen fell in.
Jane Moya shows us the damage to her home of 10 years in Refugio.
It's a disaster. I just need some, just a disaster.
It's hard for Moya to find the words. Pieces of her ceiling are on the floor. The kitchen partially collapsed.
Devastated. I lost everything. I lost everything. It's a disaster. You know, I don't have nothing. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Shingles pop as we walk through her backyard. Shingles, small bits of the protection for her home, were scattered about like random sticks. Like many of her neighbors, Moya said she could not afford to evacuate.
How do you do that when you're poor, when you have no money? Some people got it made and some people don't.
Moya will wait on federal disaster relief to rebuild. She has no homeowner's insurance.
Maybe we can talk to FEMA and get an application going, you know, and see. I don't know.
Refugio County is included in a federal disaster declaration for this storm.
I hope somebody comes out and help us.
A waiting game neighbors may soon know all too well. It goes without saying, but tonight our hearts and prayers go out to the victims of this storm. Now, if you are in one of the impacted areas, you can already apply for FEMA assistance. We've posted that link on our website at krgv.com. Live in Corpus Christi, Matt Rist, Channel 5 News at 10.
Facebook's like the new 911 in Aransas Pass.
First responders in coastal Bend disaster zones are overwhelmed with limited resources, limited communications, and a long to-do list. Citizens are having to support each other. Channel 5's Leslie Aguilar has the story of one Aransas Pass neighborhood taking care of themselves.
Right now, vehicles can't get to Aransas Pass neighborhoods that are on the other side of this seawall. Luckily, there's one woman on the other side of the wall who's doing the work of an entire disaster team.
Are y'all going back into the neighborhood? I am. Wait for me.
Every couple hours, homeowners from the Aransas Pass neighborhood of Bay Harbor climb over the seawall. Almost every time, Melinda Williams is there to meet them.
I'm just trying to be a good neighbor and treat others like I would want to be treated. The concrete pillars fell over into Don and Rhoda's. I've talked to everybody.
Oh, I sure appreciate the Texas service.
Yes, thank you. Williams survived Hurricane Harvey in her home. Now she's taking care of her community, offering rides to and from the seawall, giving first aid to those who need it. She's even packing heat to protect the abandoned homes from intruders coming in by boat on the bay.
There's been a couple of looters, and then we had some people that stayed in their house down the causeway, and they said they ran off some people too. So we are prepared to take care of what we need to take care of. We're all good here, and we're good over in Pelican Cove.
The area has no internet or cell service, but Williams found a spot atop the causeway where her phone gets 3 bars.
Hey, it's Melinda. I'm up on the bridge again. I'm with Channel 5 out of the Valley.
She's using Facebook Live to call in supplies to be brought in by boat.
I said, okay, we're going to need, if you're coming back, we're going to need gloves, tarps, because big contractor bags to clean out your fridges. If you guys want me to clean out your fridge, text me where your key is, you know, and I'll be glad to do it.
She is the only source of information coming from the other side of the seawall.
Let's hope everybody else is safe. Donna and Gary Hoyak, if you're watching this, your house is safe.
Williams will be grilling dinner tonight for those still in the neighborhood. She's the kind of neighbor every family affected by Hurricane Harvey needs.
Thank you so much for all your updates and stuff, and thanks for going by the house.
This wall likely won't be moved for vehicles to roll through until the ferries on the other side of the causeway are back up and running, and that won't happen until electricity is back, which could be 3 to 4 weeks. Reporting from Aransas Pass, Leslie Aguilar, Channel 5 News this weekend.
Tonight's torrential downpours in Houston, leaving many stranded. Channel 5's Lauren Kendrick spoke with a Valley native who works at the University of Houston. Lauren.
Valley native Christina Martinez tells us she doesn't know when she'll be able to return to her job at the University of Houston. She says she's never seen anything like what they're experiencing now. Christina Martinez is originally from Donna, but lives and works in Houston as a residential advisor at the University of Houston.
I've been there 3 years and I've lived on campus the whole time. That is where all my stuff is.
Martinez tells us the university shut down on Friday. In an email she received today, she was notified the campus is now closed through Wednesday. She knows it could be longer than that.
It's near Bayou, and it has completely flooded. The first floor for some of the townhouses have flooded, so they had to evacuate those residents into another residential hall.
Martinez says, like many, she's staying up to date through social media.
It's pretty crazy. I've seen a lot of pictures from highways where the water is up to the speed limit signs, and their cars are pretty much just sunken in, and people are out on kayaks going everywhere.
She hopes the worst is over. Martinez tells us she is staying with her aunt in Sugar Land for the time being. She says that area has not been hit as hard. Reporting in the studio, Lauren Kendrick, Channel 5 News this weekend.
Still ahead, Good Samaritans helping out Harvey's storm victims. Next, we meet someone from the Valley who's assisting those in need.
Breaking news, breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Taylor Winkle. First Warn 5 weather with meteorologist Andrew Chung. And sports with Brandon Ortega. This is Channel 5 News this weekend.
Lots of Good Samaritans from all over the state are in the disaster zones created by the storm. Our crew met a man from Raymondville in Aransas Pass today. Luis Ramirez has been driving around, giving rides to stranded people who need to evacuate. Seeing a destroyed war memorial brought tears to his eyes. A toppled Huey helicopter reminded him of his days back in Vietnam.
We saw them with bullet holes, crashed, everything. Okay, so it's never easy. I mean, you want to forget, but it's one of those things that there's always subtle reminders. And this right here, like I said, I can't help but, to remember all those times.
Now, Ramirez says natural disasters are a lot like war. Both of them leave emotional scars, and you can't really understand what it's like to go through them until you've been through them for yourself. Hurricane Harvey is affecting flights to Houston. Inbound and outbound flights to both Houston airports are canceled right now. Major airlines say they'll waive change fees, allowing passengers to rebook travel in Harvey's path at no cost. Cruise ships leaving from Galveston are also being diverted. Carnival says 3 of their ships will remain a safe distance from the storm and will return the ships to Galveston as soon as feasible.
And the catastrophic flooding continues for the Houston area. Here is Harvey on the radar. Heavy rains as well for southeast Texas and central Texas. We'll talk more about Harvey and our local forecast coming up next.
First Warn 5 Weather Report, supported by Bert Ogden and Fiesta Dealerships.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with meteorologist Andrew Chung.
Good Sunday evening, everyone. Here's the satellite picture of Tropical Storm Harvey. Still a minimal tropical storm, but that not deterring it from dumping more heavy rain and causing serious catastrophic flooding in southeast Texas. We are seeing some dry air funneling into the backside of the storm. That's why we're seeing fewer clouds toward the west, but we will continue to see some more clouds from time to time here in the valley for tonight into the next couple of days, along with a slight chance of some showers. Let me show you the watches and warnings. Tropical storm warning continues for areas north of Corpus Christi, east of San Antonio. Flash flood warning continues for the Houston area, including Harris County as well as Liberty County. All right, let's switch gears here and take a look at the latest numbers. Maximum winds are 40 miles per hour, moving very slowly to the east-southeast at 3 miles an hour. Now, Harvey is expected to move back toward the middle Texas coast by tomorrow, re-emerging in the Gulf of Mexico and then making a turn back toward the northeast, perhaps toward southeast Texas. More insult to injury for that area because of this track. And then the track potentially takes Harvey toward East Texas into Louisiana and Arkansas by the end of the work week. So here's the radar. The heaviest rains are shown in the reds and the oranges. And just a nightmare situation for Houston and Harris County. Not too much rain right now toward Victoria. There's that center of circulation, but to the northeast of Victoria, I would strongly discourage traveling to Houston at this time from the valley because of the flooding concerns, the flooding threat and heavy rain. And even if you're trying to think of going to San Antonio and Austin, you may run into very heavy rain over the next few days because of Harvey. They've had flash flood watches in place along that I-35 corridor today. We'll zoom in here. You can see the heavy rain, very heavy rain continuing to pound Harris County, western Harris County, west of Houston. Some of those heavy rains moving through Beaumont all the way up to East Texas. Now, let me show you this map. This is the Doppler estimated rainfall amounts over the past 24 hours. And keep in mind, these are very rough estimates. We're looking at about at least 18.3 inches north of Liberty, Texas. Meanwhile, 16.4 north of or just around to the southeast of Bush Airport in Houston, 8.4 toward Conroe, 15.4 south of the Woodlands. Look at that, 14.4 in northwest Harris County. That's on 290. And then 14 inches or maybe even more toward Sugar Land. And also remember that some spots have already seen more than 25 inches of rain. And get this, some areas in southeast Texas, including Houston, could get as much as 50 inches of rain when this is all said and done this week. We move up the coast, or rather up toward East Texas. You can see the heavy rains for Lufkin. Those rain bands continue to move through East Texas as well as into Louisiana. Here in the valley, much quieter, temperatures in the low to mid 80s. We are going to keep in a slight chance of some spotty showers for tonight into tomorrow. Day planner forecast the first day of school for many kids. There is a slight chance of shower in the morning as well as for the afternoon. Temperatures in the lower 80s, but we're talking about mainly light to moderate rain showers. 93 at noon and 96 degrees at 5 p.m. So here's future track clouds from time to time. The case, the model still hints at a chance of some spotty showers for the afternoon because of Harvey's outer rain bands. Partly cloudy skies should be the case for tomorrow. We'll keep in a 30% chance of showers in the forecast for tomorrow and Tuesday, down to a 10% chance of shower on Wednesday. Small craft should use caution on the waters for tonight and tomorrow. Bay waters are choppy. Your next tide is a high tide at 10:26 in the evening, and the seas are 4 to 8 feet. So here's that 7-day forecast. It will stay hot. Those winds come off the mountains here, off the mountains in Mexico. That's why the temperatures will soar into the upper 90s, even triple digits for tomorrow through Wednesday. But then, as the winds start to come back from the south to southeast, those temperatures come down for the second half of the week. Highs are back in the mid-90s for Thursday and Friday. That's your First Warn 5 forecast. We'll be back after this.
And now sports with Brandon Ortega.
High school football season is just days away as kickoff inches closer. Channel 5 two-a-day tour keeps moving along. Tonight, we check in with Edinburgh High. Last season, the Bobcats snapped a 4-year playoff drought. J.J. Leha's first year at the helm ended in the by-district round. He's looking to lead the Cats into another playoff run. Edinburgh returns a handful of starters on each side of the ball. For the players back, reaching the playoffs was a big stepping stone.
I learned that nothing's going to be given to us, that we have to work for everything that we accomplish, and we're just going to keep working.
We had great leaders. Last year we learned a lot from our coaches, from all our staff and everyone. We learned a lot of stuff.
Just our strategy and our technique, just to get better every day, just work harder. We've been working as a team more than we did last year.
It was a step in the right direction, but our kids weren't pleased with how we finished. You know, they want to finish strong. They want a better season this year, and it's all up to them.
Bobcats open the season Thursday versus Rowe. Overtime tonight in Edinburgh, UTRGV women's soccer taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The South Texas Showdown, second overtime period here. Watch this, Jada McClain going to work. How about a golden goal? Game, set, match. Vaqueros stay unbeaten, 3-0 on the season now. Next up, UTRGV tournament back this week. Vaqueros host Stenson Thursday night. MLB, Astros beat the Angels. That's a final score now, 7-5. Rangers lose to the A's, 8-3. To the NFL we go now. Cowboys were back on Channel 5 News this weekend. Last night, Ezekiel Elliott made his preseason debut, and it didn't last long. Played just 10 snaps, tallying up 6 carries, 18 yards on the ground, also had 2 receptions. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott looking sharp, completed 11 of his 14 passes, including that red zone touchdown there to Jason Witten. Cowboys rallied back to beat the Raiders 24-20. Next up, preseason finale on Thursday, and their opponent was out in New Orleans last night. That was the Texans. They were shut out by the Saints, 13-0. An off night for the quarterbacks. Both Tom Savage and Deshaun Watson struggled to get any drives moving. Watson threw an interception for the first time in the preseason. Texans and Cowboys now will square off in the preseason finale Thursday night. Some late-breaking news tonight in high school football. Games across the state have been canceled due to Hurricane Harvey. Among those games canceled, Vela and Victoria East. Head coach John Campbell tells Channel 5 Sports Vela is now looking for a new opponent for this week. We'll keep you updated on that. 4 days away from kicking off a new season. That means the Valley Football Preview Show is almost here. Wednesday night, our sports team will bring you stories from all over the Rio Grande Valley. That is Wednesday night at 6:30. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's all for sports tonight. Channel 5 News this weekend. We'll be right back.
President Trump is set to travel to Texas on Tuesday as more of the state is affected by the storm. Meanwhile, hundreds of people are at shelters in Houston as Tropical Storm Harvey floods the area. Rising water chased some people to rooftops or higher ground. It's overwhelming rescuers. Residents distressed with the impact it's having on the city.
A week ago, this was beautiful, cars coming and going, everyone going about their day. Now everyone's on a halt.
Harris County, where Houston is included in federal and state disaster declarations, making them eligible for help. More on Harvey's impact in Houston on Channel 5 News Sunday at 10:30.
Want to pass this on. Classes at Texas A&M and College Station canceled Monday and Tuesday. University of Houston is canceled or is closed through Wednesday this week. Let's take a look at traffic here in the Valley for this Sunday evening. Right now, things looking pretty good in Brownsville and 69E, both north and southbound. Things also looking good for most of Boca Chica Boulevard, though there's a small delay on Boca Chica westbound. On the island, things looking good on Texas 100 between Port Isabel as well as South Padre Island, both directions on Texas 100. Right now, 15 minutes from Edinburgh and McAllen. If you have an accident report, please call us at 956-968-5555.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Keep it right here on Channel 5 for Channel 5 News Sunday at 10:30, where we will bring you the latest on the tropical storm.
Closed captioning brought to you by Channel 5 and Clark Chevrolet McAllen.